Good evening. Here is the world news from BGI TV, 13th day in the month of April, year 2022. I am yours faithfully, Mori Rebila Lawal. First are the major headlines for the world news. Oshimbajo didn't betray anyone. Tinubu paying for his sins. Primate Ayodele. Bandits storm NCS farm, rustle animals, kill one person in Kaduna. Bandits abduct 5 College of Health Science students in Zamfara State. 4 officers killed as gunmen attack police station in Anambra. Court convicts sentences undergraduate to 6-month community service. Traders flee as crisis hits Lagos abattoir. Lagos nurse performs surgery on Ayodel's woman. Victim dies. Displaced persons in Nigeria now 3.3 million echoes. And still on the foreign scene, Biden accuses Russian troops of committing genocide in Ukraine. Finally, sports, Bayern Villarreal. Chikweze's goal sends Bayern Munich out of Champions League. Now the news in detail. Primate Elijah Ayodele, the leader of the INIRI Evangelical Spiritual Church, has denied charges that Vice President Yemi Osinbajo betrayed Bola Tinubu, the APC's national leader, by declaring for the presidency. Individuals and organizations in Tinubu's camp have been portraying Osinbajo's declaration as a betrayal because he made such a vow, knowing well that his political leader had the same goal. Tinubu, on the other hand, is only experiencing Nemesis as a result of past crimes, according to Primate Ayodele. He warned Tinubu that if he isn't careful, a local, state or federal politician will betray him and he may lose Lagos State. Declared in a statement signed by his media aide, Oluwatosin Osho, said Tinubu had made people cry and would suffer as a result. He stated, Tinubu has made people cry and now he is undergoing the same ordeal he put them through, but his supporters are following him instead of begging him to retrace his path. God has blessed him with Lagos, but if he is not careful, he may lose the state, which will be far worse. He hasn't seen anything. He should return to Lagos rather than putting too much faith in the presidency. If he doesn't, they will still betray him in Lagos. A local politician has stated by the people who might betray him, the primate concluded. Bandits Monday morning stormed the Nigerian Correctional Service farm located at Kujama community in Chikun local government area of Kaduna State and rustled a large numbers of cows after killing one person. A resident in Kujama community, Mr. Linus Tijani, while speaking with Daily Post, said other animals such as goat, sheep, chicken were also stolen. According to him, the bandits went straight into the farm and rustled all the cows and other animals. The community leader in Kujama, who didn't want to be named, confirmed the incident to Daily Post, describing it as a worrisome situation. Though Daily Post could not confirm the identity of the person killed, as one of the time of filing this report, it was gathered that a corpse was deposited at the mortuary. When contacted, the State Correctional Service Controller, Umar Audu, directed Daily Post reporter to contact their NCS headquarters, Abuja. Bandits have invaded a residential area in Saifi town and abducted 5 students of the College of Health Science and Technology, Saifi, Zamfara State. The incident happened in the early hours of Wednesday. A source in the area told Channel Television that the students were abducted when heavily armed stormed their residence outside the school campus. He said the bandits could not gain entrance to the school due to the heavy presence of security personnel. The source, however, said one of the students escaped from the abductors. Police authorities in Zamfara State have confirmed the abductions. The spokesperson of the command, Mohammed Shehu, said troops have been deployed to trail the bandits and rescue the victims unearthed. Wednesday incident added to the long list of the kidnapping of students in Nigeria's northwest region, where banditry has gained root. Gunmen Wednesday morning attacked a police station in Atani, the headquarters of Obaru, local government area of Anambra State. A source told Daily Post that the men arrived at the area at about 1:30 a.m. on Wednesday morning and immediately launched an attack on the police facility. The source said 4 policemen, including a female police operative, lost their lives in the attack. There have been a series of attacks on police and other government facilities in Anambra State for quite a while, with the governor of Anambra State, Professor Chukwuma Soludo, assuring that those responsible would not be allowed to continue with their acts. Meanwhile, the State Police Command has confirmed the attack, corroborating the information provided by source. DSP Tochukwu Ikenga, the spokesperson of the State Police Command, told Daily Post in a telephone conversation that the attack was true. The hoodlums came around 1 a.m. and unlucky for us, 4 police operatives paid the supreme price. The State High Court sitting in Ibadan, Oyo State, has convicted and sentenced an undergraduate, Olawale Obuleye, to 6 months community service for internet fraud. The convict, who is a second-year student of Olabisi Onabanjo University, Agowi, was among the suspects arrested by officers of the Nigerian Army and handed over the EFCC for persecution. The convict pleaded guilty to 1 count charge. The count reads that you, Obuleye Olawale Sylvester, on or about 11th November 2021 at Ibadan, within the jurisdiction of this honorable court, with intent to defraud, impersonate David Miguel, a white man from the United States of America. Upon his plea, the prosecution counsel, Sanusi Galadachi, reviewed the fact of the case and tendered indicting documents as evidence. He therefore ordered the court to convict and sentence the defendant as charged. Delivering judgment, Justice Akintola Ladino convicted and sentenced the player to 6 months community service and ordered that he restitute the sum of $550 $550 and forfeit 1 Techno Spark 3 mobile phone to the federal government of Nigeria. You are watching the World News from BGI TV, still to come from the national story. Confusion has trailed the course of a crisis at an abattoir in the Ayodele area of Lagos State on Wednesday. These traders were sent away by hoodlums armed with machetes and other weapons. We had to run for our lives. They hoodlum came with weapons. A meat seller at the abattoir told correspondent in ground. The Punch gathered that the crisis was caused by a levy imposed on customers who patronized the abattoir by hoodlums in the area. But a police source said the crisis was caused by a new policy introduced by the management of the abattoir to ensure hygiene. When some of the traders were leaving the abattoir this morning, the hoodlums asked for money. They almost stabbed those who resisted. That was what led to the crisis, an animal feed seller opposite the abattoir said. During the crisis, it was learned that passengers and tricycles passing through the roof were robbed as well. From that story, still in Lagos State, from another interesting, saddened story. The family of a businesswoman, Fatima Isa, have demanded justice after she died during a fibroid surgery at the Felban Alpha Clinic in Mafuluku area of Oshodi, Lagos State. Punch Metro gathered that the victim, alongside her sister, Queen, left their hometown in Auchi, Edo State, and traveled down for the surgery at a medical facility. When the sister got to the hospital last Thursday, Fatima was admitted and Queen slept over at the hospital. Speaking to correspondent, Queen said the management of the hospital demanded 190,000 naira for the surgery, adding that she left her sister in their care to withdraw the money. She said the money was in the account, so I went to the bank, withdrew the money, but when I returned to the hospital around 1:35 p.m., they had already taken my sister to the theater to perform the surgery despite not signing any form. When I did not hear from them for hours, I called one of the nurses to know what is happening, but was told that they were cleaning her up. Around 5 p.m., the doctor walked out of the hospital and I asked after my sister. She said she was okay. Later, they brought my sister out, but when I saw my sister, she was breathing abnormally. I quickly alerted the doctor, and nurses and the person assisting the doctor came and started hitting my sister's laps. I quickly called the doctor and nurses again. When they rushed in, they said I should go out, but I refused. I started shouting and crying. I called one of my sister's Kate, and she came around 8 p.m. We both slept where Fatima corpse was dumped in the hospital. Now, foreign story. The Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, has said that Nigeria now has 3.3 million people displaced by various crises rocking the nation, even as it revealed that modalities have been adopted that will stop youth from joining jihadist movement in the region. Speaking at the opening ceremony of the stakeholder workshop on the best practices for stabilization in West Africa, the Vice President of the ECOWAS Commission, Madam Finda Koroma, said the issue of displacement in the West Africa region needs to be addressed. She said we also need to address the crisis of displacement. For instance, Burkina Faso has experienced an explosion in its forced displacement crisis because of militant Islamic group violence originating in Mali. Its current 1.2 million displaced population represents a nine-fold increase from 2019. She disclosed that it is against this backdrop that ECOWAS Commission, in partnership with development organizations and governments, have embarked on an ambitious journey of introducing interventions designed to stabilize conflict-affected areas, address the root causes of insecurity, and set them on the path for sustainable development through recovery and building community resilience. To the next foreign story. U.S. President Joe Biden has accused Russian forces of committing act of genocide in Ukraine. He said Russian President Vladimir Putin was trying to wipe out the idea of a Ukrainian identity. Mr. Biden has previously stopped short of references to genocide, instead accusing Moscow of war crimes. French President Emmanuel Macron told French TV he was reluctant to use the term and warned against an escalation of rhetoric. Speaking to the public broadcaster France 2, the French president said he would be careful with such terms today because those two peoples are brothers. I want to continue to try as much as I can to stop this war and rebuild peace. I'm not sure that an escalation of rhetoric serves that cause, he added. But Mr. Biden insisted on Tuesday night that evidence of genocidal acts by Russian troops was mounting. He first made the comment as part of a throwaway remark during a speech in Iowa about increasing inflation, telling supporters in Iowa their ability to budget should not hinge on whether a dictator declares war or commits genocide half a world away. And finally, sports story. Villarreal dumped Bayern Munich out of the Champions League on Tuesday. Simon Chukwueze's 88-minute strike at the Allianz Arena giving the Spaniards 1-1 draw in the second half of their quarter-final tie that took them through 2-1 on aggregate. Robert Lewandowski had put Bayern ahead on the night to level the tie on aggregate after Villarreal's 1-0 first leg win and extra time loomed until Chukwueze struck. The result means Bayern Munich exits the Champions League in the quarterfinals for the second year running. Villarreal are into the semi-finals for the first time since 2006 and will play either Liverpool or Benfica in the last four. The English side take a 3-1 lead into Wednesday's second leg at Anfield. That was the world news from BGI TV. But before we go, a quick recap of the headlines once more. Oshibado didn't betray anyone. Tinubu paying for his sins. Primate Ayodele. Bandits storm NCS farm, rustled animals, kill one person in Kaduna. Bandit abduct 5 College of Health Science students in Zamfara states. 4 officers killed as gunmen attack police station in Anambra. Court convicts sentenced undergraduate to 6 months community service. Who also brought before you? Traders flee as crisis hit Lagos abattoir. Lagos nurse performs surgery on Ayode's women. Victim dies. And to foreign story, displaced persons in Nigeria now 3.3 million ECOWAS. Biden accuses Russian troops of committing genocide in Ukraine. And finally, sport. Bayern versus Villarreal. Chukwueze's goal sends Bayern Munich out of Champions League. Thank you for watching. For more updates on our YouTube channel, the handle is Bababagede Imo TV. Kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell. Select option All to access our broadcast. On Facebook, Bagede Imo with Alawi Adebayo. Please like and follow the page to access the broadcast as well. On Instagram, Bagede Imo _22. For advert placement of your goods and services, coverage of functions and events, both outdoors, the phone number streaming on your screen is a direct line to call strictly for advert placement. I am yours faithfully, Mobile Rebila Lawal. Good evening.
Oh, na, na, na. If you want to know what's going on in city, or you want to listen to the latest news and gist, no stress, oh, just tune to BGI TV. BGI TV, you're one in a million.